Ever notice how people panic when you just stop talking? Silence isn't weakness. It's the weapon nobody sees coming. What if your words are bleeding away your power? Here's something most people never figure out. Every time you speak, you're spending capital, social capital, strategic capital, power itself. And most people are hemorrhaging it constantly, filling every awkward pause with verbal diarrhea that nobody asked for and nobody needs. But why? What are they so terrified of? The answer is simpler and darker than you think. They're terrified of being seen. Really seen. Because when the noise stops, when the performance ends, when there's nothing but silence, that's when the truth becomes visible. And truth is dangerous. Truth reveals who has actual substance and who's just running elaborate smokescreens. Think about the last time someone stayed quiet during an argument with you. How did it make you feel? Probably uncomfortable as hell. You started filling the void, didn't you? Started explaining yourself, justifying your position, maybe even getting angrier because they refused to engage. And here's the kicker, they didn't have to do anything. Their silence did all the work. You defeated yourself. There's an ancient principle that warriors understood long before corporate boardrooms existed. The one who speaks first loses. Not always, but often enough that it became doctrine. When you speak first, you reveal your hand. You show your cards. You telegraph your next move. Silence, on the other hand, is a blank canvas where others project their fears, their assumptions, their weaknesses. The samurai had this concept they rarely talked about publicly, the space between things. Not emptiness, but potential energy compressed into stillness. That pause before the strike. That breath before the decision. That silence that contained more violence than any war cry ever could. They understood something fundamental. Action without stillness is chaos, but stillness without action is meditation. The combination, that's mastery. Now translate that to your daily existence in 2026. You're drowning in notifications, messages, demands for your attention and your voice. Everyone's screaming to be heard. And in that cacophony, who stands out? The person adding more noise, or the person who creates space, who refuses to participate in the collective hysteria, who simply observes? Here's what nobody tells you about silence as a power tool. It's not passive. It's the most active thing you can do. Because while everyone else is reacting, you're calculating. While they're revealing, you're collecting. While they're exhausting themselves, you're conserving energy for the moment that actually matters. What would change if you stopped feeling obligated to fill every silence with sound? How silence exposes everyone around you. There's a psychological phenomenon that happens when you withdraw words from an interaction. People start to unravel. Not immediate, not obviously, but steadily. Like a thread being pulled from a sweater, their composure begins to loosen. And you're just watching, learning, gathering intelligence they don't even know they're giving you. Watch what happens in any high-stakes conversation when someone deploys tactical silence. The other person's brain goes into overdrive. Are they angry? Did I say something wrong? Are they judging me? Do they know something I don't? The internal monologue becomes a form of self-torture. And all because you did nothing, said nothing, just existed in the moment without the compulsive need to perform. The intelligence community has known this for decades. You want someone to confess? Don't torture them. Don't threaten them. Just ask your question and then sit there. Maintain eye contact. Wait. The pressure builds like water behind a dam, and eventually, inevitably, they crack. They start filling the silence with details you never asked for, justifications you didn't request, truths they meant to keep buried. But here's where it gets genuinely dark. Silence isn't just a tool for extraction. It's a tool for installation. When you're consistently silent, consistently measured, consistently withholding, people begin to fill in the blanks about who you are. And they almost always fill those blanks with qualities of depth, intelligence, and danger. You become a screen onto which they project whatever narrative makes sense to them. The Stoic philosophers weren't advocating silence because they were shy. They understood that controlling your tongue was controlling your destiny. Every unnecessary word is a leak in your armor. Every emotional outburst is a weakness cataloged by those watching. Silence was armor. Silence was strategy. Silence was survival elevated to art form. Consider how this plays out in modern power dynamics. The executive who doesn't immediately respond to every email. The negotiator who lets proposals sit in uncomfortable silence before responding. The influencer who doesn't feel compelled to comment on every trending topic. They're not aloof, they're strategic. They understand that scarcity creates value, and their words have become scarce enough to matter. Here's the conspiracy nobody talks about. In rooms where real decisions get made, silence is a weapon actively deployed. People are trained to let others talk themselves into corners, to wait for the amateur to reveal their position before showing their hand. It's a game of verbal poker happening beneath every productive meeting, and most people don't even know they're playing. When was the last time you let someone else's expectation of your response control what you actually said? Why? Discomfort is your competitive advantage. Let me tell you something uncomfortable about comfort. It's where truth goes to die. When people are comfortable, they lie. Not maliciously, necessarily, but they present curated versions of themselves. The polished surface. The acceptable narrative. But discomfort? Discomfort strips away pretense like acid eating through paint. And nothing creates discomfort quite like silence. It's a kind of social nudity. When you stop participating in the expected rhythm of conversation, people feel exposed, vulnerable, and in that vulnerability, their authentic self starts showing through the cracks. Their anxieties, their insecurities, their real agenda, beneath the professional veneer. Here's the brutal efficiency of it. You're not doing anything. You're not being aggressive. You're not attacking. You're simply not providing the social lubricant they've come to depend on. And that absence, that refusal to smooth things over, to fill the gaps, to make it easy creates pressure that reveals everything. The ancient warriors knew battles were won before swords were drawn. They knew that if you could make your opponent doubt themselves, question their strategy, feel the weight of uncertainty, you'd already won. The silence before conflict was more devastating than the conflict itself. It created space for fear to grow, for resolve to weaken, for mistakes to be made. Think about power dynamics in your own life. That person who makes you wait for their response, who doesn't feel the need to immediately validate your message, who seems perfectly comfortable with gaps in communication that make you anxious. Frustrating? Absolutely, but also effective. They're establishing hierarchy without saying a word about it. There's a theory that circulates in certain circles, the inverse relationship between noise and substance. The more someone needs to constantly assert themselves verbally, the less actual power they possess. It's compensation. Real power doesn't announce itself. It doesn't need to. It simply is. And when it speaks, people listen. Because it happens so rarely. In high-level negotiations, corporate warfare, political maneuvering, silence is currency. Meetings are structured around who speaks when, who holds silence longest, who can watch others implode without feeling the need to intervene. It's an invisible game playing out beneath surface conversations, and the people who win it are the ones who've mastered stillness. What if the real power move isn't having the best argument, but knowing when not to argue at all? Drop the word observer in the comments. If this is clicking for you, tell me about a time silence would have served you better than speaking. If you're getting value here, hit that like button and subscribe. There's more coming that you won't want to miss. What happens when you stop explaining yourself? Here's a radical thought. You don't owe anyone an explanation. Not for your choices. Not for your silence. Not for your existence. But we've been conditioned to believe otherwise. Conditioned to think that silence is rudeness, that withholding is cruelty, that we must constantly justify ourselves to anyone who asks. And that conditioning? That's a control mechanism. When you stop explaining yourself, something fascinating happens. People get confused, then frustrated. Then they start making up their own explanations, which are usually far more interesting than the truth. And in that gap between their expectation and your reality, you gain leverage. You become unpredictable, and unpredictability is power in a world that desperately tries to categorize everything. The digital age has made this worse. Everyone has a platform, everyone has an opinion, and everyone expects you to engage with their opinion, defend yourself against their takes, participate in endless cycles of explanation and justification. But what if you just don't? What if you let people think whatever they're going to think and conserve your energy for things that actually move the needle? There's a concept from strategic operations that applies perfectly here. Never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake. And how do you know they're making a mistake? By staying silent, by letting them talk. The more they speak, the more they reveal. The more you stay quiet, the more power you accumulate. It's mathematical. But here's where most people fail. They confuse strategic silence with cowardly avoidance. There's a difference. Strategic silence is chosen from a position of strength, with clear purpose and intent. Cowardly avoidance is fear-based paralysis dressed up as prudence. The former is power, the latter is prison. Know which one you're practicing. Consider the Stoic approach, not suppressing emotion, but not being controlled by it. You can feel the urge to defend yourself and still choose silence. Can feel anger rising and still maintain composure. That's not weakness, that's sovereignty over yourself. And self-sovereignty is the foundation of all external power. Here's something they don't teach you in school or corporate training. Your silence can be more intimidating than any threat you could make. Because a threat is concrete. It can be assessed, prepared for, countered. But silence is ambiguous. And humans fear ambiguity more than almost anything else. We fill it with worst-case scenarios. In what areas of your life are you wasting energy explaining yourself to people whose opinions don't actually matter? How to weaponize stillness without becoming cold. Let's get practical. Because understanding these concepts intellectually is one thing, deploying them effectively is another. And there's a razor's edge between being strategically silent and being emotionally disconnected. One makes you powerful, the other makes you isolated. The difference is intention and awareness. Start here. Before responding to anything important, count to 5 in your head. Sounds simple? It is. But it's also revolutionary. That pause interrupts your automatic reactions, gives you space to choose your response, rather than being controlled by impulse. In that micro moment, you reclaim agency. You stop being a stimulus response machine and become a conscious operator. But silence as power isn't just about withholding speech. It's about heightened presence. When you're truly present, truly attentive, without the compulsive need to add your commentary every 30 seconds, you create gravity. People feel it. They might not be able to articulate what's different, but they sense that you're operating on a different frequency than everyone else. The warriors of old understood something we've forgotten. Stillness before action makes the action more effective. That moment of pause, that breath of silence, that second of calculation, it's not hesitation, it's calibration. It's the difference between a random swing and a precise strike, between noise and signal, between reaction and response. Now apply this to modern life. Every text you don't immediately respond to, every social media argument you don't engage with, every provocation you let pass without reaction. You're not being passive, you're being selective. You're refusing to have your energy drained by infinite demands on your attention. While everyone else is exhausting themselves on meaningless battles, you're conserving power for wars that matter. Here's the dark promise of this knowledge. Once you master tactical silence, you begin to see how easily others are controlled by words. Their words, your words, anyone's words. You see the patterns, the tells, the ways people reveal themselves constantly through what they say and when they say it. You become fluent in a language most people don't know exists. And perhaps most importantly, you stop being afraid of silence. Most people fear silence because they fear what it might reveal about them, that they're not as interesting, not as valuable, not as essential as they need to believe. But when you're comfortable in silence, you're signaling something powerful. You don't need external validation to exist. You're complete without it. If you made it this far, comment control below. Where in your life do you need to stop talking and start observing? Hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and share this with someone who needs to learn when to shut up. Strategically, this is knowledge that can literally shift your position in any power structure. The question isn't whether silence is powerful. The question is whether you're strong enough to wield it. This content is for educational purposes regarding communication dynamics and strategic thinking. We do not encourage harmful manipulation or unethical use of these techniques. Strategic silence should be employed with responsibility and ethical awareness.